If you're new here, like and sub. But Tyler, today, pretty loaded episode, right? We're going to go 2 for 1 just to get these out here to the universe. We have the ACC tier list, and we also have the Big 12 tier list. The two other conferences that honestly might have the most fun what the hell moments out of all the conferences, because it's like, know, it's like the two drunk leagues, I guess.
Dude, when I was making this, I was like, I don't even know what to say for all these teams because I don't know what the fuck's gonna go on. I have no idea.
These are the word drunk leagues, and they're a lot of fun. I mean, they're the hardest to predict year over year, because sometimes talent wins, other times talent doesn't win. I'm old enough to remember when Kansas State was the favorite every year going into the Big 12 season. I'm old enough. Well, actually, I mean, we're both old enough. Miami has still never won the ACC. Like, these are two completely bizarro conferences that don't make a ton of sense, but I've yapped enough. Tyler, we're going to start with the ACC tier list. Who is your bottom tier?
This tier is called Focus on School. This would be Stanford, Boston College, and as much as it pains me, Syracuse, because I am a Fran Brown fan.
Okay, so you're down on Syracuse. That's interesting. But I guess start with Stanford.
They're just bad, man.
Yeah,
they're just
never mind. Start with Boston College.
Also, like they don't have it. I mean, the problem with Stanford and Boston College is like Stanford won, like those days are gone. Like Andrew Luck is trying to revive it, but like it's going to take a long time.
Yeah,
and like I don't even know if he's going to be able to do it. When it comes to Boston College, I think Bill O'Brien is a very good football coach, but there's a reason why he left Ohio State to take that job, and it was for family purposes.
Big family, yep.
So, there is that. Do I think Boston? If you're asking me, like Boston College, I think is capable of being a better team than they are right now.
They are,
but it's hard, man. That is the upper Northeast has never been known as like a football territory.
No, you don't really have a crazy recruiting base. You also are kind of like, and when there's not a crazy recruiting base, you're swimming with too many big sharks for like the kids that are good in that area.
Correct.
And then additionally, like there's not like a culture of football there, right?
Yeah, it's lacrosse and like super rich people, folks, because the upper Northeast corner of America is the oldest money in the United States of America. It doesn't get any older than that. Mm-hmm. So, and then there's Syracuse. Like, I really like Fran Brown. I think Fran Brown is refreshing. I think Fran Brown has a swagger that I appreciate. I think Fran Brown is almost too real to a fault. Maybe
is he too real for Syracuse?
Maybe. I think Fran Brown, like if you put Fran Brown and gave him some financial support at a school like Arkansas or a school like Mississippi State, where like, that's how those kids are used to being talked to, or Fran Brown at Florida State, wink, wink, might be, interesting to see. So, but I just don't think it's there. It's Syracuse, man. I think when you are a portal quarterback program and you're also not truly a destination, like a fix me program either, it's hard to live that way at Syracuse, I think.
Yeah, I guess I think I'm higher on Syracuse than you are. Now, I'm not like high enough to bump them up a couple tiers, but I don't think they belong in a tier with Stanford and Boston College.
I just like, I don't, there's so many questions with them. It's like, who's playing quarterback? Who's going to be, do they have, because they want to throw the ball over the field. Do they have the weapons to do that? Do they have the offensive line to give themselves time to do that? I just don't know. I don't know. Like, if you're asking me which of these three teams can rise, it's easily Syracuse for sure.
That's fair.
But I think right now I would start them at the bottom.
That's fair. And I won't push back. All right, let's go next tier up. And this was a unique tier list because the conference is so big.
Yes. This is called the Carolina Casuals.
Ooh.
North Carolina, Duke, and Wake Forest.
Okay.
All three of them. They're just like, I don't know how Duke recovers from losing their quarterback the way they lost their quarterback.
And they kind of just said, you know what? Power to the game.
Yeah. They like, hey, we could be the good soldier for the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest, they are entertaining every couple years. But the one to really talk about is North Carolina. Like, what the hell is going on? What are we doing?
I don't know, dude, but a show that I know said that they're more nationally title relevant than Washington. So I don't know. I'm not a believer in it. I think that, like, this is the equivalent to, I mean, look, Bill Belichick is at North Carolina so he can coach while being on vacation permanently. Like, that's what this is. This is the I'm coaching while on vacation. I want to enjoy nice weather and vacation while also pretending like I'm still a football coach.
Like, they got 2 old horny white guys.
Yeah.
On the show.
3.
GM's been suspended. Bill Belichick is dating a 25-year-old.
Yeah, well, you know who is also on that staff?
Who?
Arkansas neck brace.
Oh boy. Yeesh. Hey. Like, people like to hang out with the same kind of people, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, dude. But when we talk about it, I mean,
but they're really terrible.
Bobby, Billy, and the GM all in the same spot at the same time.
In what world did anybody think that a college kid is going to be able to even speak? Like, when Bill Belichick talks, like, if I'm a college football player, Bill Belichick is talking way above me. Dog, there's no way I can understand anything that guy is talking about.
He talked over Mac Jones's head to the point where Mac Jones reps went to the Patriots, and the Patriots asked Bill Belichick to stop yelling at Mac Jones. And Mac Jones was a pro at this time.
Yeah, and had played for Nick Saban.
Yeah, yes, that part.
Like, it's just like, in what world? There's a reason why college coaches do well in college and then NFL coaches do well in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, when you are a long-time NFL head coach, like, you are never, like, the game is different. We're talking about kids versus pros, like, grown-ass men trying to make it and to make it. And, like, it's a job. Like, this is a, like, who thought this would work? I have no idea. So all 3 of those I think North Carolina, the state of North Carolina, when it comes to college football, down tremendous.
You're a vacation destination.
Correct. So
next tier up.
This is called I Don't Know What to Do with You. I got Cal in Virginia. So Cal is a very talented quarterback. I'm not going to try to say his name.
Yes, we just go with JKS.
JKS, right? And then you have Virginia, who almost won the conference last year,
which is disgusting to think about.
Correct. So, like, I don't know where either one of these, like, I don't, and call me, like, maybe I'm a little casual with this one, but, like, I can't imagine Cal being good at football. Like, it just, like, I know they have a pretty talented quarterback, but, like, what else do they have? Nothing.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, they're gonna have kind of a redefined culture. I mean, they just brought over the DC from Oregon just came there. They're gonna have a reestablished culture. They should be better on at least the D line. They've got a quarterback who's capable of taking over games. I mean, I probably am with you. It feels kind of glass cannony. It doesn't feel like the brick house that would warrant kind of a higher tier, but they're intriguing at least. Like I agree. I don't 100%. Know what to do with you either, but I'm intrigued by you.
Sure, absolutely, 100%. Like, I'm fascinated to watch because like, there's nothing more fun, and that's the reason why I think the ACC is so fun, is because there are very talented quarterbacks in this conference.
Yeah.
They just don't have the trench play. They don't have, the skill position players. Like, they have these great quarterbacks, and it's like, damn, they got nobody to throw the ball to, and they're all running for their life.
Dude, the Cal thing is so funny because, like, Cal and ACC in the same sentence is still hilarious. But you know what I hope? I hope that, like, they play at night all the time. Because, as a kid, you have that guilty pleasure of, like, after the Ohio State game, you think all the college football games are off, and you, like, flip through and you just run to a random Cal game. It's like, oh,
yeah,
look.
You turn on a Cal game, it's going to be Cal.
Washington State, and it's in the second quarter.
And it's like 37-27.
Yeah, dude.
With 3 minutes left in the first half. And you're like, what is going on?
Legitimately, this is how I became a Josh Rosen fan. All the games would be off, and I would click on. I would see UCLA, USC, late night. It's like late night television, but except for making for college football fans.
Yeah. So, like, I think either one of these teams could go up or down, or they could stay right where they're at. I don't know what to do with them. I literally was sitting there. I was like making this tier list, and I was like, I don't know what to do with them. They could, like, who would have thought that Virginia would have been have potential to, like, win the ACC?
No, that's fair. All right, bump me up one more.
All right, this is probably going to be our longest conversation.
Okay.
This is the what the hell happened to you? And can you guess who the two teams that are in this tier are?
The what the hell happened to you tier? It's got to be Clemson, Florida State.
That is correct, Chris. Great job. I think, one, who do you want to start with? Clemson or Florida State?
I would like to start with Florida State because they're almost more intriguing to me.
Sure. So I think Mike Norvell is already fired in the eyes of the Florida State AD and boosters.
I agree with you because the reports came out they were trying to hire Lane Kiffin while Mike Norvell still had a job. Remember what we talked about a year ago? You almost have to perform your job search before you fire your coach.
And if Florida State came out and fired Mike Norvell in the last cycle, they would have been the 5th or 6th best job available. And that's not where you want to live.
No, and the candidate they wanted, they interviewed him. They interviewed Lane Kiffin or met with Lane Kiffin, some backdoor whatever.
Sure.
To see, and Lane Kiffin was like, to be honest, I'm between Ole Miss and LSU. So they didn't even make the top 2 for them.
Correct. So where do you rank Florida State as a job, the top jobs in America?
I don't know. I think that, in theory, because their academic standards are lower than Miami's, they should be a better job, but they don't feel like they've got the cultural pull, at least in my lifetime, that Miami has. I think you glossed over what's the confusing thing about Florida State. They blew the doors off Bama.
Yeah.
That's the confusing thing. The confusing thing is, how did you blow the doors off Bama? How did you look as physical and as talented as you did? How, as Ohio State fans, are we so excited about the Earl Little Jr. kid who was a centerpiece here? How did you do that? And yet we're sitting here talking about what your program is because we don't know. I feel like we saw a glimpse of how hot they can get. I think
I think it's a broken culture. I think those players don't believe in Mike Norvell. I don't think and I know it's how did you do that?
Yeah, but it's how does it evaporate? How does the if you can't get your team to believe that you're up next after you just blow the doors off of Bama, I don't know what does it. Because it's not like Bama ended up being a bad football team. Bama ended up ripping off 4 straight ranked wins against the SEC, which however you may feel about it, whatever. They ended up beating Georgia. They ended up winning a playoff game against the SEC. I mean, or is quietly the ACC just really kind of nasty, and the SEC's not.
I think Mike Norvell might just not be a very good football coach. On the game day, and they just struck lightning in a bottle. There's a whole lot of there's a litany of different reasons. It's probably a little bit of everything.
Okay, that's fair,
right? But for me, the Florida State job is not a top 10 job in America. It floats in that 12 to 14 range for me because it has historical relevancy. The program it had juice at one, not 20 years ago when Bobby Bowden was doing his thing, or 20 to 30 years ago when Bobby Bowden was doing his thing. I mean, they had motion. They had real. I mean, Deion Sanders went there. There was a lot of really good Hall of Fame NFL players that played there.
I mean, he was the winningest coach of all time for a blip in time when Joe Paul's wins got vacated, and also even in 2013, 2014, 2015, you still looked at Florida State and felt oh my god, this is it. Dalvin Cook, Jameis Winston, Kelvin Benjamin, Travis Riddle, they had dudes.
Yeah, I mean, going back from the beginning and middle of Bobby Bowden's career, and then you go to the Jimbo Fisher era, and it's what is going on? Because you still are in Florida, and this goes to our theory. One of those, 2 of those 3 teams can't all be good.
Mm-hmm.
Only one team can be good at a time, and
especially because there's so much rating from outside of Florida that it's no longer them just splitting talent between the 3 of them. They're splitting talent between them plus Ohio State plus Bama plus Texas plus Georgia.
Yeah, so it's just you got to figure something out, and I think knowing the cycle that we just had, you got to assume that the next coaching cycle will not be what it was last year. So like maybe Florida State will be one of the two, the best job or the second best job, available, and that way you can go get somebody that you think you would want to go get. But I think you got to go. I think Florida State should think outside the box, and I think Fran Brown, somebody that has a little bit of swagger, has a little bit of juice to them, going in Florida and being exciting, being different. Because if you think about it, like Bobby Bowden, Jimbo Fisher, it's like stiff white dudes.
Yeah.
It's like you got to do something different to shake this thing up. Because right now it's like Florida State to me is on the tipping point of being completely irrelevant. And like I don't think college football is better if Florida State is completely irrelevant.
So, I mean, I'd agree. Now Clemson,
it's over, man. Like I don't know, to me, I don't know where this program goes. I think of the two teams like on this that we're talking about, like Clemson has a chance to be, to rise more than Florida State does. But like the days of Clemson being the big bad dog, the big bad wolf in the ACC are gone. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part about it is like the kids that are coming out of high school now only know Dabo as the goofy Southern guy.
Yeah.
That hides behind the Bible for all the
they haven't seen the peaks of Dabo. And honestly, it's also funny that like there was a time period where like you thought, oh my God, these Clemson receivers were all going to take over the league. And then you thought, oh, these Clemson quarterbacks are going to take over the league. And like, respectfully, like the Clemson receivers have not had the staying power of USC, LSU, or Ohio State. And the Clemson quarterbacks, to be respectful, one's a gooner and the other one is like not really loved. He's viewed as like fake Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Yeah, you could make the argument that Trevor Lawrence, since he got to Clemson, has gotten worse at football like every single year he's played football.
Yeah, I mean, that was Trent Dilfer's big point. Like, whatever they're doing over there, they're breaking down guys like mechanically entirely.
I just don't think that Clemson has the appeal to high school kids and or transfers.
Yeah.
Like the star power of Dabo Swinney is gone.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm right there with you.
So it's just like, to me, Clemson has now returned back to where they were pre-Dabo, which is they're going to pop out all 1 year and, compete for the ACC, and then they'll go back to where they came from.
Well, I mean, really, like, and people don't want to ever admit this, Clemson and Dabo is just if James Franklin got super hot 2 times.
Yeah.
Like, because Clemsoning and Franklining were the same thing. It's just like, how hot can you get in an instance?
The difference was that Clemson got hot for like 4 straight years.
Yeah, well, was it 4 straight in your opinion?
It might have been 5 because they had the 4-year war with Alabama. I mean, they played Alabama 4 years in a row in the playoffs.
Okay.
They went 2-2, and then Ryan Day played them in 2020 and essentially ended the whole program.
Yeah.
Blew them out, like sent them back into the ether.
Yeah, I mean, they were a national title mainstay too because they made the Natty in 2019.
So they won in 16, lost it in 17, or no? Yeah, won it in 16, lost it in 17, won it in 18, lost it in 19, and then got blown out in the 2020 semifinal against Ohio State.
Yeah, they just got super hot.
Yeah.
Really talented. I mean, that's a really impressive run for Dabo, though. That's an impressive
It is.
run.
It's just like I just don't think it's over to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, what's your next tier up?
This is the rebuilding year. This is the Tech schools. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. I think I really like Brent Key. This is your school. This is your guys. I like Brent Key a lot. I think he just has to, reload it, rebuild it.
Yeah, I guess I don't view this as a rebuilding year, right? Like, they're going to have one of the top running backs in the ACC. And then they're going to have a transfer quarterback that came from a championship. Like, here we go. Like, someone who's good enough to be a backup at a championship level school, to me, is a positive for like a place like Georgia Tech.
So do you think Georgia Tech can get back to right where they were last year?
I do.
Were they in the mix?
I think my complaint that I'm about to harvest is that you don't have Louisville in this tier.
No, I have Louisville as a threat.
Okay, so it's like, why do you have Louisville as a threat, but not Georgia Tech? It's a curiosity question.
Well, I think one, I did forget about the running back, so I did that is true. They do have the running back that I forgot about.
Yeah, Justice Haynes came from Alabama.
That's right.
From Alabama to Michigan and now to Georgia Tech, and he was really productive at Michigan a year ago.
I forgot about Justice Haynes going down to Georgia Tech. So, but it's just one of those things where I think it's more of that I trust. I want to see Brent Key do it again. Okay. I've seen Louisville be good, be competitive year in and year out.
Okay, and I'll push back. It's like we saw Georgia Tech 2 years ago beat Miami. We saw them beat North Carolina when they had Drake May. Yep. They win the big games. They went across the pond and put belt to Florida State that caused them to unravel. And then last year they were really competitive all the way through. And it's like, I know that we do have Ohio State focus, but are we how much are we gambling that Alberto and Lincoln aren't really similar to each other?
You might be right.
That's all. I
don't think you're. I mean, you're making a compelling argument, and listen, I'm not afraid to be wrong and say I may have missed this one. Period.
Yeah, I would just because I have Georgia Tech in the same.
Justice Haynes being there and me forgetting Justice Haynes is definitely on me. So let me start there. I would definitely say with that being there, him being there is something that they haven't had. Mm-hmm. That's a good running back.
That's a legit running back.
And that's how Brett Key wants to play.
Bingo. And so they like the mobile, the running back quarterbacks, right? Like Justice or Haynes King. Hey, it's JT Barrett. It's quarterback draw. It's quarterback power.
Sure.
What do you guys need? And Alberto is that as well. Good athlete.
I had Virginia Tech here as well. I think James Franklin's going to work at Virginia Tech. I think James Franklin is a good enough recruiter as a head coach. He always had good players at Penn State. I think I've always been a little concerned that he's never been able to get the receiver position right,
which is so bizarre
because he's a receiving guy. But I think Virginia Tech has notoriety enough and has been a good enough program for a long time that he's going to get it going. Mm-hmm. Would it surprise me to see Virginia Tech in 2 or 3 years competing at the top for an ACC title? Absolutely not.
I mean, they're going to be like what Vandy is under Clark Lee.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I just think, but I do think he's going to be able to do it more consistently because he's in the ACC.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair and understandable.
All right, so next here, this is called They Have a Dude.
They have a dude. Okay.
This would be Pitt and NC State.
Okay.
Mason Heinzel and then Bailey from NC State. They could spin it.
They can. And they can take over any game at any moment.
They can take an over game at any moment. I don't know if either one of these teams is going to play a lick of defense, but they're going to be fun to watch, and they're going to ruin somebody's season.
They are.
And I think, the Bailey kid might throw for more yards than anybody because they're going to throw that bitch all over the field.
I mean, that feels like he feels like the perfect Loxley quarterback. Not Loxley, excuse me. Was it Dave Doran? Who's their OC over there?
Yeah.
He does feel like the perfect. It's Kurt Roper. Mm-hmm.
Between Bailey and Mestemaker, I don't know who's gonna have more yards. Who's gonna throw for more yards?
It's definitely gonna be Mestemaker.
So I think they are. It probably, honestly, Georgia Tech probably should be
in this group. They have a dude
in this group, because I think all three of those teams, Georgia Tech, Pitt, and NC State, they're going to lose a game or two that they're not supposed to lose, and they're going to break somebody's heart. They're going to ruin somebody's season. Somebody's going to be in the mix, and they're going to play and be like, all of a sudden you look up and Mason Heinzel's throwing for 400 yards and four touchdowns. You're like, what? Why does he do this all the time? And you're like, well, because they're down by 3 scores before he cuts the ball 2 times. So.
I'm excited to see what Roper does in year 2. He's only been calling plays there for 1 year. He was the quarterback coach before that. And whenever quarterback coaches call plays, you feel like, okay, we're about to see this ball opened up.
Yep. Next one, I got the real threats. I got SMU and Louisville. SMU is probably the biggest threat to Miami.
Yeah.
I have Miami as the top dog. If Miami doesn't win the ACC this year, they're never going to win it. I don't think they'll ever win the conference if they don't win it this year. SMU with Kevin Jennings, and Rhett Lashley, like that's the team. That's really the team, to be quite honest with you, who should compete with them. Louisville's always just kind of been around and been at the top and give themselves chance in November to like go and win the conference. I just don't know if they're going to be able to. So I would put a lot of money down that Miami and SMU will be playing for the ACC title game, though. I don't think it's particularly.
That doesn't even feel like a hot take.
No, I don't think it's. I think those are the two best teams in the conference, and as long as Mario Cristobal doesn't
mess it up,
I think Miami has the best quarterback. They have the best wide receiver. They have the best O-line. They probably have the best defensive line. They probably have the best secondary. I don't see a world where they don't win the ACC. Georgia Tech probably give them the best running back tandem for sure. And, I think, but like Miami's just better. They're just better than ever. They feel like I have Miami as a real national title contender.
I mean, you have them as your preseason number 6, I believe, or number 5.
That is correct. I had number 6.
Okay.
Number 6 behind Ohio State. So, I had SMU and Louisville and Pitt, I think all in the top 25, I believe, in my preseason. So we'll see. I mean, do I think you could write it in stone? No. But I think you could probably write it in pen.
Yeah, like wet cement.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's going to be fun, man. I think the ACC is going to be entertainment. It's going to be a combination of bad football and awesome quarterback play. And you're like, what is going on?
2-loss champion for sure.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. If Mario Cristobal has this program going in the direction that we think they're going in, they're just so much better than everybody else in the ACC. I think Miami's only loss right now in my head is at Notre Dame.
So I have them at Notre Dame, and I have them just stumbling on one more. Just because that's like Mario Cristobal's never made it through a year without stumbling on a bad one.
Well,
even last year, was his magnum opus. They lost 2.
Well, if you remember last year, I said that Miami was the toddler that has had too much sugar.
Bingo.
We are waiting for the tantrum to happen.
Like they're just kind of unstable, a little volatile.
I think the run they made last year, if the momentum is carried through, like they should run through the ACC with no problem.
Fair.
So, all right, you want to go through the Big 12 real quick?
Yeah, Big 12. Who you got? Bottom tier.
Big 12 bad.
BTB.
Big 12 bad. Baylor, Cincinnati, Iowa State, Colorado, and Kansas. And then they all stink. I don't think they have a chance in hell to be good. I think Prime is collecting a paycheck. I think Iowa State has been gutted.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cincinnati is just happy that they're not in complete trouble because of the Brennan Sorsby thing, so they're just hiding. Between Kansas and Baylor, Baylor might be entertaining. Baylor might be. If you had to tell me which one would, which of these 5 teams would like rise, it would be Baylor.
Okay. Do you trust Lagway a little bit? Dave Aranda?
Yeah, Lagway is Miranda and Lagway to me. He's like approaching like who was the kid that was at Oklahoma and transferred to South Carolina?
Rattler.
Yeah, he's like approaching that type of territory.
Okay, well, at least like Lagway's not an asshole, right?
That's true, but I'm talking about as far as like hype mixed with
hype
production.
And where you ended up. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
So, but all these teams they're bad. They're like Big 12 bad is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you name this next tier because I couldn't. This is TCU, Kansas State, Central Florida, and West Virginia.
Jesus. I mean, this is like the drunk uncles group.
Yeah. This is, TCU, Kansas State. Like all these teams have had moments in history of being really good.
Like at least Kansas State has Avery Johnson.
They have Avery Johnson. So that's true. And that's probably the team that I think has a chance to rise. I think Rich Rod at West Virginia is a year away from like maybe getting back to what they were.
Yeah.
Like all four of these, what do you think about it? All four of these teams have had moments in time where they were like where it was going. They had it moving. And now it's right now that just none of them seem to have it going.
Yeah, we're the drunk uncles. Let's look at our yearbook together. That's what we are.
It's fair. All right. Next one. This is called Big 12 good.
Okay.
They're good for the Big 12. What that means, are they good nationally? Probably not.
It's like when someone says like Ohio 10 versus like a California 10.
Yeah, correct. That's an incredible way to put it.
Yeah.
This is Arizona State, and Utah. I am down on Utah, and I might be the only one. I feel like people think Utah is still going to be good. They still have their quarterback, I believe, but like I don't like when you lose a head coach that's been there for 20 years. 20 years, man. Like, how do you recover from that?
Yeah, it's tough.
You know, like, what are they going to look like?
I don't know.
I have no. I think they're good enough in the Big 12 to like cause problems.
Yeah, because all those teams are kind of squished together.
Correct. You know, but like, that's a hard pill to swallow when you lose like the guy that's been there for 20 years, 20 plus. If you think about it, as the time as an assistant coach, you know, Kenny Dillingham, there's State. Like, I think he's an interest. I wouldn't say that he's a really good coach. I think he's an interesting coach that's still learning and growing he's
still working through it.
Yeah, figuring out who he is as a coach. You know, Arizona has Noah Fafita, so like,
who's been in college for forever. He might. I feel like
Noah Fafita. Like, I feel like we've talked about him 6-7 years ago. Like,
every year, dude. And well, he's like the last of like the 4-year starting quarterbacks at a P5 place. Think about that.
Yeah, it's true. So
it's not going to happen anymore. I mean, 4-year starter at a P5 place just won't happen.
Yeah. All three of these teams are good enough to beat anybody in the Big 12, but they're also good. They're also like not good enough to like say that they're going to be in a Big 12 championship game either. So that's where I got them. The Party Crashers. This is Oklahoma State and Houston. I think Oklahoma State. Fuck it.
They're my conference winner. So
Oklahoma State's going to the Big 12 championship game.
Bingo.
I think they're going to the Big 12 championship game for sure. I think Houston's also a really good team, a very scary team. That's gonna like be there and like playing games in November that are gonna be like.
That's my trendy Big 12 title right there.
So. Who knows? I mean, Drew Mestemaker, like, I think he's really good, man. I think he is a really fun and good quarterback. Not just fun, like, he's good. He's got serious arm talent, and he knows the offense. He's familiar, and now he's just getting an upgrade in talent. And that can only be good things for them. So, we'll see. And then Texas Tech and BYU, the players of the conference. I think Texas Tech is going to be the most hate-watched team in the country. I think everybody in the Big 12 is going to give them their very best shot because of what happened. I think that the distraction has to play effect and like how they're going to be received, how they're going to be attacked. You know, going on the road for Texas Tech is going to be not very fun for them at all. So,
but do you think without Sorsby, that'll be died down a little bit?
I do. Potentially, but like you still have the arrogance of Joey McGuire and the whole Texas Tech administration. Like, you know, like they did it. If they would have got rid of Sorsby immediately, like there wouldn't have been a problem. But like they went to war. They were prepared to go to war, and they almost did. And so like the way they went about how they did it, they got to the right answer, but how they got there was shitty.
Yeah.
And so nobody's going to forget that. But I do think, though, that their roster as a whole is the best in the conference. The problem, though, is like I think out of the top 4 teams, they have the worst quarterback for sure.
Probably.
You know, BYU with Bear, and Loney Sataki.
That's Mormon Tebow, dude. They're gonna hurt some teams' feelings.
Absolutely. I think it's gonna be. I think when it comes down to it, at the end of the year, it's gonna be Oklahoma State versus BYU for the Big 12 championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think BYU is gonna win. But I think it's going to be. But if you told me right now that Oklahoma State wins the Big 12, it would not shock me whatsoever.
I got Oklahoma State, Houston, Connor Wegman and friends.
I think Lonnie Satake is a really good football coach.
I do too.
And I think
he would have been awesome at Penn State. Actually, I don't even know if he's a fit at Penn State. He might just be perfect at BYU, but it would have been cool to see him at Penn State.
He's perfect right where he is.
Yeah.
Which is why I think he stayed.
Mm-hmm.
So in review, we got Miami winning the ACC. I have BYU. We agree on Miami winning the ACC, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you have Oklahoma State. I have BYU.
So not bad. Neither of us picked Texas Tech, who FPI-wise is a popular pick. The roster's still really good.
The roster is very good, and they're going to be a tough out. And, like, their offensive, like, the way that they run their offense, like, it's very quarterback-friendly, but it's not an offense that's going to, like, run away from you. You know, they're going to be like when they play the good teams in the Big 12, like they're going to be in games and like they're going to lose those games. They're going to lose one or two of those games because they don't have
the difference maker. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and when you lose the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year and another first round deep pass rusher, that's a net. You're not going to replace that.
Yeah, and like another guy who should have been a first or second rounder, Ramel Height. Like you lost a lot. So. No, this is good. We knocked out both. We got a couple other things coming before the season, but this is perfect, Tyler. Thank you.
Anytime, man. I know we kind of rushed through it. You know, we don't have a lot to talk about with the Big 12 and the ACC.
That was my preference, dude. I hate talking about the bottom of the ACC and the Big 12.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the ACC and the Big 12 are going to provide big, playoff implication games.
Fun games. They're going to provide fun games.
And games that are going to impact who wins the conference, and they're going to be big games, and they'll get a lot of. We'll talk about those games a lot. It's just like the ACC and the Big 12 are so far and away from the SEC in the Big 10. It's just like not particularly close, and that's it is what it is. But if you ask me, which game would you rather watch, NC State versus Pitt or Ole Miss versus Texas A&M?
I'm taking Ole Miss versus Texas A&M.
All right. That's probably bad.
I'm sorry, dude. Marcel Reed versus Trinidad Chambers, dude. What?
All right.
Here we go. Give me it's like what? Like Auburn versus Tennessee. Give me the other game.
Yeah. That's a good count. That was a terrible decision on my part. Hand up accountability. That was terrible.
Yeah, shout out Tyler for accountability. I'm like, dog, Trinidad Chambers and Marcel Reed, dog.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
That every time.
Wait a second. Yeah. So am I. All right. Pitt, NC State versus Tennessee and Oklahoma.
Yeah. No, give me Pitt.
Yeah, that's gonna be way more of a fun watch.
Yeah, it is. Give me the Pitt game, 100%. And I love Mason Nitro. Like
they're gonna score 100 points in that game. It'd be awesome.
Pitt Cal is gonna be cinema if they even play.
That's true. So, all right. Well, we will be back. I think we're gonna do a scheduled draft.
Yeah,
which will be fun, and I have a way to make it more fair than when I was originally playing. So that'll be good. We'll do some player. Top 5 players.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of it will just be like reacting to news of training camps and
rumors,
updates, all that stuff. Just because we're close, man. We are very close.
Yeah. So make sure you like and sub. Obviously, like there's stuff coming out on the channel every single weekday. And it's I mean, during the season, it really feels like a network because we're gonna have this show, my show, and Buckeye Roast all either daily or every other daily,
Yeah, the Buckeye Roast will be daily. Signal Loss will be daily.
And we'll probably be 2 to 3 times a week, depending on we both have busy lives.
Definitely 3 times a week. We'll definitely do 3 times a week.
Well, heard it here first. Right here on Dead Air Sports. I'm Kris. That's Tyler.
Peace.